Nice.
There's not much holding that.
That's all one arm.
Hey, welcome back, car nuts. So I'm with my buddy Sirio here, and we're actually driving his Tesla. But as you can see up here, we're here for the Bronco Off-Road Experience. I'm so excited about this. Like, check this out. They got the Broncos set up. We got a couple of those out there. They had more, but they've already took off down the trail. Actually, I think I'm going to be driving that one, that gray one right there. And what's really exciting about that is that it's a manual. I'm so excited to get a manual, like, SUV, because you can't find them anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Rare.
Right now, we're just hanging out in the Tesla because it's cold as fuck outside.
Yeah, no joke.
They had several different trim levels available for us to check out while we were waiting on our turn to drive a Bronco off-road. Up at the front, they had a very basic base model available to climb in and out of. The base model is very basic. You can compare it to a Badlands model in just a minute. The soft top that it comes with is pretty flimsy. I much prefer the hard top. The hard top has some funky insulation material on the roof inside. It doesn't really look like a finished product to me, but I guess it's functional. I got to drive this Velocity Red 4-door Badlands model. And of course it's manual. I think the seats are leather, but fact check me on that. The rear seats have a decent amount of room, and there's lots of room in the back too for luggage and whatnot. I was also able to check out a 2-door model, and what's interesting about the back seat in the 2-door is that you still have the same amount of legroom as you do in the 4-door, but the bench is a lot narrower. It only seats 2 people. And of course the luggage space is a lot smaller. Another cool thing was they had gas cans painted with all the available colors. Now I think my favorite is Area 51, but I'm also pretty partial to the Eruption Green. Y'all let me know which one you think is the best. Well, let's get on with this test drive.
Hey, I'm Dan.
Scott.
Yeah. Scott. Hey,
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Scott is our lead. He's a military trainer. He's been doing it for 30 years.
20, well, teaching for almost 21. All right, so.
Outstanding. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a few things with you that's a little different than you might do it in other vehicles, all right? So this thing idles at 800 RPM when it's warm.
Okay.
Most manual transmissions, your foot's on the brake, your foot's on the clutch, and then when you start to ease off to get to that sweet spot, your RPMs usually drop, right? As you load the motor to the ground, you connect the motor to the ground, you can feel those RPMs drop. This one's not going to do that. The computer's going to auto blip, bring throttle up for you. So it's super neat. What we're going to do is this technique. So we'll use a little bit of clutch, a little bit of brake. As soon as we get to that sweet spot, we can come off the brake and the truck will just start moving and you just ease off the clutch, which prevents us from going big throttle and smoking clutch for no good reason. 1 through 6 is a contiguous shift pattern, right? There's no issues going from 1 through 6 or 6 to 1. That's the wall for 5 and 6. This is the wall for 1 and 2. You can see there's a gap for reverse and crawl. We're going to have to use that collar to get into crawl or into reverse. You do not need the collar to come out of it and get back to the next gear.
Gotcha.
All right, I'll tell you something else. It's more, the shift pattern is more like a sports car, if you will. It's very tight. It's not a big throw like a pickup truck. So like 5th gear is not going to be over here by the glove box like an older pickup would be. All right, so another thing we found driving this is coming from crawl to first can be pretty tricky. If you try to rush it, you'll almost always guarantee to hit 3rd gear because it seems like it springs so hard it really puts you in 3rd. So as you come out of crawl, you'll end up in 3rd. So
right into,
yep, I would say when you come from crawl to first, go up to neutral, come over for a split second, then go back to the wall and run it back into first.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, so if you will, let's throw this thing in 1st gear. All right, now please do this technique because we're going to use it a whole bunch of times out here.
Okay.
All right, so right foot's on the brake, left foot's on the clutch. Just ease back till you feel a sweet spot. It's going to go up. See, it's so crazy.
It starts going up.
Yeah, all right. And the cool thing is when you're in traffic, especially stop and go traffic, you're not doing this with all your pedals. All you got to do is just go ease off, ease on, ease off, and you're moving. It's so smooth, it really moves you out without going big throttle the whole time. All right, so hold that brake, come back to the sweet spot.
Okay.
All right, so right here, come off brake.
Come off brake.
And just keep gently coming off your clutch, and we're up and we're rolling.
All right.
All right. So
that's a nice little feature.
It is nice, and it's not a 75-pound leg press every time either. It's really a pretty smooth operation. Go ahead, push the 4L button. Yep.
Okay.
So we're in normal goat mode, and I'm going to keep you in normal goat mode because we can add and subtract things at our leisure, which works well for me doing the display stuff that we're going to do to showcase everything for you. On the dashboard, there's a bazillion different screens you can choose from, like literally. So that is the pitch and roll screen that's under the off-road file.
That's cool, yeah.
All right, so the top one is our pitch angle, which is going to be this one, which of course we're level right now. So that's 0. The 1 degree in the middle is your steering in degrees. You have 1 degree to the right. You see how that changes?
Yeah, that's nice.
It's pretty neat, especially if you're doing something super crazy and all of a sudden you're like, I don't even know where I'm at. Because it does happen, and you can just glance down and you're like, oh, okay, I am half of what I thought I was to the left or to the right. And then of course our bottom one is our roll angle then. So this is just a small side slope here, but we'll be able to put it in first gear right here. We'll crawl up this and go up it with no pedals. All right, it's good to put it in first gear. Yep.
All right, first gear.
All right, so now same technique. Just go sweet spot on the clutch, off brake, ease off clutch, and we're rolling. All right, so this thing has got such a crazy crawl gear ratio.
But we're not even in crawl yet. We're just at 4 low on the first.
Correct. Come off your gas, please. We're gonna go. We'll do this with no pedals right here, just so you can see. It will do this idling for you. Go up a little bit to the left. We'll hit 16 to 17 degrees right in here. It's not super crazy, but if we had a little more hill, we would do it.
That's very nice because I can't see anything from over here, but I can see it on the camera.
It's
which is pretty cool.
super handy.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the many views we're going to go through here. All right, so there's different options there, and it's getting hard to see, but we can see it right here, all right?
Right.
So we could go straight up this and we'd fit, all right? But as we turn to the left to get set for the next set, we may take the rear left tire into the point of that rock. So we don't want to hit that. What we're going to do is I'm going to have you hit those 3 dashes right there.
Okay, 3 dashes.
Hit the circle button there. Bloop. This gives us our 360 bird's eye view.
That's cool.
Oh, the mirror. Do me a favor. I'm going to roll those windows. I was like, what? Pull that back for him, please. Perfect. All right. I was like, So we kind of got like it's basically like a 6-foot tape measure too. It kind of gives you a countdown, gives you an ability to judge how your distance is from that obstacle you're going to, and it's a tire path projection. So if you give it a little steering, you're going to see those lines move with you.
Right. Okay,
so it really lets you know exactly where you're about to go, whether you want to get on something or avoid something. It's very useful. So we're going to go forward and just a little bit of steering to the left.
Okay.
All right, and let's put it in first gear.
All right, first gear.
And just sweet spot, and it'll start moving, and then just off pedals right here, and we're gonna keep going a little more left, just like that. We're just gonna crawl right up it. Oh no, it's stalled. All right, so what I'm gonna have you do is hit your engine start button again. Just because we roll back a second, it'll do that. If the further you roll back, the longer it seems to take to spin that motor to fire up again. All right, let's put it in crawler gear.
Okay.
All right, now this is where you get to see 94.75 to 1. What, Scott? How did we get to 94.75 to 1? Well, it's a good question you ask. So 4 low is 3.06 to 1 in the transfer case.
Right.
Crawler gear is 6.581, and the Badlands manual comes with 470 ring and pinions. So we got a very legit crawl ratio right here. So it can still stall in crawl. It takes more of a hit or a curb like we're kind of sitting in to make it stall. Let's see if it'll crawl up just with the clutch. All right.
Okay.
So you can probably let off the brake. I don't know if we're going to go anywhere. Just ease. Yep. Look at that.
Look at that.
Yes, it's nuts. So our parking sensors can be super annoying off-road. So you can click them off right there. Good.
Well, it's trying to stall, but it's doing it.
So it burps throttle for it. It'll try to fight back. It's really a neat feature. It's so easy to drive off-road. Now turn a little to the right for me. A little bit more. Good. And a little more right. Now stop right here. All right, so now this is the curb. We're going to hit it at a little bit of an angle. We're going to go that direction. It's kind of a higher side over there.
So we want to go up on the curb to come back down, right?
Yep, and if we had another super cool camera, we could use it. Let's hit the 3 dashes and the far right button. That's your front tire cameras.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, so just about like you got right there, and just hold that same steering as we start crawling. If you want to engage your lockers, well, they may come in handy right here.
Oh, okay. So
that one.
This one right here.
Yep, and just push straight down, right? Yeah.
Oh, I see the buttons are there.
The first time I did it, I did the same thing. I was
nice.
like,
okay. Yeah, I thought I touched buttons, but the buttons are there. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's...
Good. Yep. And then a little bit.
sliders?
Yeah, that's actually
Oh,
our. Oh, there, we found it again now.
Yeah, it's stalled out again.
It happens. So the Badlands does come fully armored, and what you are sitting on right here is the gas tank skid plate. So it's a big, giant skid plate that runs the whole thing, and a little bump like that's really not hurting anything. We'll just drag it right over it.
Okay.
So it's nice and easy. If our line was about 2 inches to the left, we would have avoided that. You got it, you got it, you got it. Nice and easy.
Wow, I didn't have to get any gas at all.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It climbed right over it, yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys show up here with a whole list of questions? You're like, man, we need to get this, 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 and this answered?
You know what's funny is I kind of came here with like no real expectations, you know? Like I just wanted to see like how the truck is and what it's doing, and you know, I'm really appreciating all your explanations.
Excellent. Excellent. Go a little left here. Perfect. Just like that. Yeah, take that up. Give it a little tiny gas. If you stall it, those sensors come back on default mode. Good, good, good. And to the right. Perfect. So if we'd have went straight there, we would have caught a little bit of a hump and might have got a little knock on the bottom. And by just taking that line that we just did, we didn't have any hit.
Gotcha.
Now this has got a pretty steep breakover angle, all right? So the front's your approach angle, the middle is your breakover angle, and your rear is a departure angle. So we'll almost guarantee to get a little bump here. Let's try going a little bit to the left. Just hold that line, a little more left. Yeah, let's try that. I want to see a little left. Hold that, hold it, hold it, hold it. Don't turn it back. Hold it means hold it.
Gotcha, okay.
All right, sorry.
And go straight into the lake?
We will do some water at the end. We'll go to the left here.
Yeah, this one doesn't have a snorkel, so
no. So with the Badlands, if you squatch it, you end up with let me rephrase that. Any of the Broncos, if you squatch them, you end up with a 33.5 inch water fording depth, which is nearly 3 feet. And it's got everything to do with where the intake is and how they did the intake. It's really pretty nice. It's right up front, but it's on the very, very top. All right, so go straight for me.
Straight, okay.
Right here. Let me stop you right here. Stop. Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna have you turn and go down that hill right there.
Okay.
All right, so
first gear?
Yep, first gear. Kill the lockers for me. All right, so in first gear, and I may have forgot to tell you this, but you do have a gear shift indicator right there. So that one is your first gear.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the same technique here. So you'll go sweet spot. Once you feel the power hit the ground, then you can come off brake. We'll come all the way off clutch, and then we're not gonna touch a single pedal here. We're gonna go all the way down, no clutch, no brake, no gas.
So it has like a hill descent?
Yeah, like this is just a simple technique called engine braking. It's an old school thing. There you go, crank her down. And there, no pedals, don't do it. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Ah! It reminds me of Austin Powers when that dude is out there and the steamroller's coming. He's like, no!
Oh no.
So
I just saw where we were going.
Wow. So
holy cow.
So what I'm gonna do with you is what we call a failed ascent. So I'm not going to the top. You ain't going to the top.
Okay, we're not going.
But we're gonna go up. And you're going to get to feel what it feels like to go up, right? I don't know what's on the other side, and I'm not dealing with that right now, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go roughly halfway, okay? And then I'm going to tell you to stop. All right? When you stop, you're going to go clutch brake. All right? And then we're going to sit there, and we're going to discuss the rest of the process, which I'm going to tell you right now, and then I will repeat it before we come back down, all right? So going up is nothing. It's the coming back down that's always hairier, and it's way scarier when you're in reverse. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up and we're gonna glue ourselves to the hill. When I tell you to stop, you just clutch brake. All right, so just make sure you know where the clutch and brake are, because if the only pedal you hit is the clutch, we will rock it backwards. Very spooky, scary.
Gotcha.
Like very, very bad. So we're going to go up and we're going to stop, and then when we get stopped, we'll discuss it. We're going to put it in reverse, and then we're going to do the same technique to go downhill. So you're going to be on the brake and the clutch, and then you're going to go to the sweet spot on the clutch, and then you're going to keep coming just a little bit. You want to feel it fighting the brakes that you are holding.
Okay.
All right, because right there we're going to come off both pedals at the exact same time, so the engine is engaged to the ground. All right, let's click our lockers.
Okay, yeah.
We'll get those engaged, all right? We can pull up here in first gear, and then when we get to the bottom, we're just gonna stop and we'll put it in crawl gear. So generally on dry terrain, we want our tire speed, our wheel speed, and our vehicle speed to be the same. All right, so what that means is we don't want to break traction and start spinning the tire faster than the vehicle's going,
Sure.
because we'll lose traction. We'll actually give up traction. All right, let's stop right here. We'll put her in crawler gear.
Okay. And crawl.
All right, now same technique. So just sweet spot, off brake, ease off clutch, and you're gonna feel big power. Boom. All right, so now we're gonna give it just nice steady gas, just a little bit more than idle. Yep, just like that. Good, good, good. And we're just gonna start crawling up. Yep, yep, yep. Good. Give her a little more gas right in there, right in there, right in there, right in there, and stop right there.
All
Perfect
right.
job.
Stop.
Thank you.
Man, good job.
All right, so if you look, that thing will keep calculating. It's recalculating. So we're at 33. We were probably at 34 when that tire went up on that rock.
Right.
So we hit that bump, and then what happened is the front shifted to the rear, and the reason why is because weight. So weight and gravity. So the front of the truck's heavier than the back of the truck, and so when it jumped up and kind of bounced, gravity wanted to pendulum the truck and swing it around. So this is where things get like super dangerous because of that weight imbalance. All right, so now that means when we go to back up, we're going to shift a little bit of steering to the right.
Okay,
And the cool thing is that thing tells you, so probably 2 or 3 degrees.
Sure, like 3 degrees.
Yeah, and so as we start to back up, you'll be able to straighten out when you feel it kind of get straight again.
Sure,
all right, because
yeah.
you can feel us leaning to the right a tad. All right. All right, so let's make sure we shift it into reverse now.
Okay.
Perfect. So again, we'll go to sweet spot, holding that brake. So sweet spot right there, and now pop off of both of them.
Pop off both of them.
Yep. There you go. Excellent.
Wow.
You did really, really good. Now, a lot of people will fight with it. They're like, ah, and then it gets super sketchy.
Yeah, popping off of both of them was weird. I thought I was going to have to ride the brake a little bit, but no, it's, wow. That was nice and easy.
Yeah, it's simple.
Wow.
As long as you allow that transfer of power to the ground, it takes over for the brake because of the gearing, this thing having such low gear.
Right.
Put it back in reverse, sorry.
Put it back in reverse? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch you quick enough. Hit the plus button, so it'll zoom in. So like if you're hooking up to something, or you're so close to something you really need to see, you can hit that plus minus button and you'll zoom in or zoom out.
Nice.
All right, and then you also got a few other things too. You got your wide angle on the reverse. So this is the numbers or letters that are on the spare tire. So you can basically read your spare tire. That's your normal view right there, but the full screen. And then here's your normal, this is the one you normally get, your default one, if you will. So this particular Badlands is sitting on the 33s. It is the upgraded mud terrain tire versus the all-terrain tire that comes stock on the Badlands. And then it's the upgraded wheel, so it has the beadlock capable rim. We'll turn left.
Probably don't need our lockers.
Yep, you don't need them.
Can you disengage them, like even
anytime.
while you're rolling?
Yep.
Yeah, it's very nice.
If you do it when it's straight, it's a lot easier on the whole system versus being if you're turning, you tend to have a bind on the system.
Yeah. I could feel a little bit of a bind. That's why I was like, oh, it reminded me, I got to turn this off.
Yeah, perfect. It's a really neat rack and pinion on this thing. It also has something called nibble canceller. So when you're flying down the highway and you're hitting them little cracks and bumps on the road, normally you'd feel a little shimmy in the wheel on an average vehicle, and this one cancels it. You don't feel it at all. Just straight down the road.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a Wrangler too, like a 06 Wrangler. And this thing's a lot smoother over like these like little slips and dips than the Wrangler is.
It's nuts, isn't it?
The Wrangler bounces you all around.
All right, so the easy route is to just go straight up the trail. We're not going to go straight up the trail. We're going to go a little bit to the left, make it a compound angle. So we're going to have an angle like that and an angle like that. All right, so our right tires are going to go up the center hump, basically, and our left tire is going to run right up that grass line there.
Okay,
so
right up the grass line.
Let's engage the lockers. Yeah.
I want to put it back on the...
I like it.
This guy.
Good move.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's put her in crawl gear.
All right, in crawl.
She may idle up it. Yeah, just give her a tiny bit. Excellent. Good. And stop right there. So now we're calculating 24. Are we staying? Sold 24. 25.
Yeah, there you go.
25 degrees up, and then we got a 14-degree tilt to the right. Pretty neat. So here, this is like a spooky place to be with a manual transmission, right?
It is. Yeah.
But this thing's amazing. So we're just going to crawl out of it. So we're going to use that same technique you've been doing. So just the right foot's going to hold us until you get to the sweet spot. Once you're at the sweet spot, you'll be able to ease off brake and just keep easing off clutch. Good. Give it a little gas as you get over. Look at that.
Nice.
Hey,
Wow.
we didn't go down at all.
Nope.
It's a beast.
Yeah, I could feel the wheels lost like just a little bit of traction, but then it just like it went.
So we got 2 humps coming up and 2 holes. They're perfectly spaced.
Sure.
For, like, if I could cut this out and take this all over the country with me, I would take this. It's that badass to showcase this truck. All right, so I'm gonna have you put it in crawl gear. We're not locked right now. So if I show you right here, it doesn't show the lockers there, it would show it engaged.
Gotcha,
so we're gonna leave it open diffs right now, and we're just gonna go straight forward idling. All right, and so at a certain spot, it's gonna give up traction. That tire is gonna have no weight on it, and that tire is gonna have no weight. And they're gonna go vert, 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 and then just feel it for a second, and then just go clutch brake. All right.
Okay, so the clutch brake in the middle?
Yeah, we'll stop in just a minute. So just get her moving, no pedals. All right, and then as we crawl up here, we'll go just a little bit further. Yep, just like this. So that it registers 0 to 1 miles an hour when you're idling and crawl. It's that slow. It's just amazing. All right, so that one's going to start coming down into the hole as our front right comes up, and so right about here it'll spin.
Yeah.
Now just clutch brake.
Okay, clutch brake.
All right.
Yep.
So now, in order for us to be able to move forward, because those 2 tires are spinning and those 2 tires are fully weighted, those have no weight, and weight equals traction. All right. So now we'll engage both lockers.
Right.
All right. Now they're orange. They're engaged. We're just going to crawl forward, nice and easy. So just hold the brake just enough that we don't roll backwards. Ease up on the clutch. We're going to start moving, and then I'm going to stop you in 3, 2, 1. Stop. Ooh, ooh. All right, we're gonna go just about an inch,
tip down.
About an inch forward.
Okay,
yep.
yeah.
Good. Stop. So you did good.
Nice.
All right. So now, hold the clutch, hold the brake, put it in reverse for me.
Reverse. Okay.
All right. Hit the 3 dashes in the far right camera. That's your rear tires.
Yeah.
All right.
Off. Yeah. Okay.
So you can
What's your degree there in roll?
4 degrees downhill, 9 degrees roll angle.
9 degrees rolling.
All right. So now we're gonna hit the sway bar disconnect in just a second. Yeah, look. There is not much holding that right there. So we're gonna hit the sway bar button now. So if you hit that, just look at that.
Oh,
so
wow.
you get a big movement out of that.
So you went
That's
down
amazing.
From 9 to what?
Yeah, what's our roll angle now? 5.
5,
So we
yeah.
just dropped down 4 degrees.
4 degrees.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it does allow a big weight transfer at that point. So once we can put more weight here and there, it'll help give more traction. So that front right tire is now all the way up in the wheel well, and the front left tire reached down all the way to the bottom. So that when that freed those 2 up, it took the tension out of the chassis, allowing that right rear to try to reach down and touch.
Nice.
All
Excellent.
right. Let's put it in first gear, and then we'll crawl up to the flat spot, and then we'll pick these guys up.
Okay.
Look at that. When you know, like, never hit 1300 RPM, it's just
Right, yeah.
It's amazing. It's so easy to drive. And then I'm gonna put you on top of a rock.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Turn to the left. It's gonna be the big one over there, but we're gonna hit the one in the middle and then the big one.
Okay, the one in the middle and then
Yep,
the big one.
yep, you're doing good just like that. I love it. I love it. All right, so nice and easy. Let's stop you right here. Let's go into crawler gear and a little harder left. Yep, I don't want to tap that one. Good, good, good. Nice and easy. Good, good, good. Yeah, there you go. Now to the right a little. Yep.
You put it on this one right here?
Yep, let's put it up on that. Good, good, easy. And a little to your left. Yep, as you go up. Yep, yep, good, easy. Now, we're going to aim. We're going to take it. Oh, yep, just like that. Yep, just like that. We're going to go over to the next. We're going to crawl forward nice and easy. Easy.
And this tire guide is like magic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, that's okay. Just nice and easy. Yep, yep. Oh, hold the wheel. Yep.
Hold the wheel. Okay.
Yeah, you feel how it's moving you. Yep, good. All right.
A little bit
Yep,
more.
yep. Good. And brake right there. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, now let me stop you right here, put it in crawler gear. And we're just gonna let her idle all the way up.
All right.
And then we're gonna let her idle all the way down because it's super rocky. Good. And this will be nice and smooth and easy on my kidney, so I'm not pissing blood at the end of the day.
I'm actually impressed with like how smooth it is.
It's ridiculous. So the Badlands comes with the full Haas suspension. It comes with the better Bilstein shocks, and the shocks, it's not just a shock, it's literally a very dynamic shock. So this thing adjusts at some insane ratio. I can't remember what it was. It's some silly numbers, man. It's like brrr, and it adjusts constantly. So if you jump in one of the lesser model trucks without this shock, you can feel a big difference between that and this, just because of the shock. So the shocks are amazing on it. Then you're on a 33-inch tire. They are at full road pressure. If we aired them down a little bit, it would be significantly smoother, and we haven't, because we want you to feel what it's like to just leave the road and hit the off-road. So dropping it 10 or 15 psi would make just a massive difference on being even that much smoother. So with the 33-inch tire, your tire, any tire, is always your first means of suspension system. So with that, just that slightly taller sidewall on these 33s, it just gives it a little more cushion right from the get-go. We're going to go up there to that little cone, and from that little cone, there's another little cone across the water. So we're just going to draw an invisible line from that cone to that cone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Second gear is a good gear for it. We'll just go into it nice and easy. It is a hard rock bottom.
Good stuff.
Right, so just about the speed you're at right there. You can see you're going to have a little bow wake coming off the front of this thing, and a little bow wake's fine. The problem is people will create a big bow wake going faster, and then they go faster and faster, and then you go into water that is now deeper than it was when you went into it.
Right.
So they hydrolock their own motor from their own throttle response. So just go a little slower and you don't have those problems.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
people will dive in and create a tidal wave and then go right through the tidal wave, and then you're done. You smoke a motor.
Well, that felt like nothing. That felt like just driving through whatever.
Yeah, it was easy.
Wow. Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, these things suck up the bumps really good. They do really well. The great thing is that their road handling characteristics are also phenomenal. It's more like driving an F-150 than it is driving a Jeep once you get on the pavement.
You know, that's one of the things I liked about the Land Rovers, is that like they feel fantastic on road, and then they switch to off road, like just
and
so
do
easy.
good, yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
but if this thing can do that too, I'm going to be very happy.
So it's got a twin scroll turbocharger. It's got 2 injectors per cylinder. The thing puts out 300 horsepower.
Does it have both direct injection and port injection?
Yes.
Really? That's awesome.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a neat way they go about doing it. They, obviously they've just been figuring out how to tweak those smaller motors and get those bigger numbers. And again, this thing will hit 20-something PSI boost, just whoa, and just slam you in your seat.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, that's about all I got for you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, this was a great drive, man.
Good.
Thanks much.
Glad you. I hope it was worth coming up from Austin. I know it's a bit of a drive.
All right, so what do you think, Sirio? Like, how's the Bronco?
As a passenger,
Yes.
all I'll say is it was fun. My seatbelt came off 3 times.
Really?
My window,
It came undone?
it came undone
Oh,
3
it came
times.
undone.
But I mean, obviously these things are being toured around and beaten the hell up. So
These have obviously been abused, like a lot. Like they said that they were going all around the country, like doing this off-road tour. So I think they've been used pretty well already.
it was smoother than I thought, honestly. It was cool to see what all the crazy things that they're capable of, especially with just 300 horsepower. I thought they did really well. I mean, obviously you were the driver and you're driving the manual, so
Yeah, so like it was the craziest thing to just put it in like crawl and just come off the clutch and it just take off. Like it keeps the RPMs up and just smoothly like takes off. It's like pretty fantastic, really.
how was that? They made you do that. What is it, like 35-degree vertical crawl? That was that was crazy. Man.
That was a little intense. Yeah, that one was a little intense. That one like shocked me a little bit. But yeah. Oh, there goes the car. Where's the wipers?